How to influence people's mind? Question often arises when talking about non-verbal communication, but usually discussed only in terms of gestures, facial expressions, tone of voice, eye contact, generally body language. That's why I would like to discuss this issue from a slightly different angle and talk about what is the essence of the interpersonal communication, but is very rarely mentioned, namely energy and forces that stand behind our words and gestures. How to influence people, how to persuade people to support our goals or ideas. Contrary to popular opinion, it's not words or nonverbal communication, but it's an energy that really matters. But because it's a very vague concept, someone who talks about that exposes himself too easily to ridicule and may not be taken seriously. Especially if he raises this issue in the context of the other fields, like for instance, sales. Nevertheless, I will take the risk because energy in communication is not science fiction and its scientific foundations are very strong. Quantum physics shows and proves it can be even measured. And I am sure that each of us can give examples from his own life where he has experienced its existence. It's not easy to explain why we like or we feel distance or even hostility towards someone after just a few seconds. What exactly means the chemistry between two people? What we mean by intuition? What is the soul? There are many unclear issues that concern us humans, for which there is no clear and obvious explanation. Take a look at military intelligence like CIA or KGB, which spent millions of dollars on budgets of paranormal department. Former CIA agents who dealt with remote viewing claimed that they used their skills to detect enemy targets in hostile territory or worked for the crime police department and were engaged in the search for missing or kidnapped people, using only the abilities of their mind to do so. Moreover, say that everyone has similar potential, it's only a matter of training and experience to develop similar skills. To be clear, I am far from saying that everyone can do it, and I don't take such statements very seriously. I'm not trying to convince you about taking control of the world or people with the power of your mind. What I want to say is that we should look at communication in a broader, more deeper and complex context. People talk over and over about body language, tone of voice, how to move or how to speak, but they forget about what is behind it and its core. Although it may all seem very abstract or even mysterious, be aware that you are able to learn things which can make you a charismatic personality and change your life. When I started my first job in sales, my knowledge about human communication was very limited. I can even admit that I was socially disabled. I was barely able to focus on what to say and what words or arguments to use to sound convincing and somehow influence my prospect and close a sale. It took me a while before I learned how to chill out, and I realized that there's another way. It was a very shallow approach. That exists communication based on much more solid foundations, where it doesn't matter so much what you say, but what energy you convey and what the other person feels during the conversation. The ability to transfer energy is something that distinguishes the best speakers and leaders in the world from the rest who are only followers. If you know how to do it right and you tell, for instance, a story, the other party feels like a part of it, feels emotions of the heroes, their internal dilemmas, sadness or happiness, motivation for action and inspiration. But once again, by making a technical analysis of their behavior, this probably directs us towards words they use, how they articulate every sentence, their intonation or pace of speaking. And undoubtedly, right chosen words and body language stimulate imagination. But it has to be something more behind these words and gesture to inspire people to act. Maybe not very accurate, but quite clear metaphor which illustrates communication between two people is the picture of transmitter and receiver. A receiver like a radio, a transmitter like an antenna. Radio only picks up the frequencies for which it's tuned. And in that sense, energy is like a radio waves that cannot be seen. If the signal sent is not compatible with the frequency read by radio, nothing will happen. Even though the signal is already there and theoretically everything should work well, you won't hear anything. So, how to persuade and influence people? Just because our words reach someone, it doesn't mean that they affect that person in any way and message left any impact. The communication is simple and very complex at the same time. Simple answers often give rise to many ambiguities. Generally, answer is theoretically simple. Lower energy cannot captivate higher energy. But what is this energy? Generally, high energy is associated with being present, not drawing into your own thoughts, looking without judgment at other people despite the difference of opinion, being helpful and not expecting gratitude, not looking for appreciation and approval, while being at the same time fully aware of own aspirations and be willing to achieve own goals. And here is an ambiguity, because how is it possible to desire something and not feel any pressure on the result? How to act with commitment and be free from expectation and outcome? Understanding and, most importantly, reflecting in behavior these values is the key to persuasive and charismatic personality. Human mind hides many undiscovered secrets, and while someone can be skeptical about telepathy or mind reading, and to be clear, I also don't believe that it will be ever possible, transfer of emotions and energy communication is something much more tangible, and for sure each of us has experienced that personally. To tune into the waves sent by another person, what you really need is attentive listening. You have to focus on the feelings of the other person you are talking to and adjust your own. By being immersed in your own world full of problems and concerns, you are far from being able to do that. To express and reflect feelings by tone of voice, body language, eye contact, and other non-verbal form of communication, you must have a free mind. Emotions hidden behind words are key to persuasion. Improving this skill requires both an open mind and a rational approach. Understanding some concepts takes experience. It's like explaining to someone what love means. If he hasn't experienced it before, he never fall in love. It's doubtful he will know what that really means. The same applies to energy in communication. If you happen to meet someone and you found understanding almost without words after a few minutes you met, you are aware that communication can have different dimensions and there is certainly something more. You are able to establish deep and true contact with virtually everyone if you only understand what it's all about and how this mechanism works. Western culture, as one of the most focused on consumption, has the highest percentage of people who have lost their natural predispositions, forgotten how to communicate. Instead, people prefer to stare at their smartphones, are immersed in their mundane problems, don't know what it means to be present, how to relax, how to use a mental training practice like mindfulness meditation to slow down racing thoughts, let go of negativity, and calm both mind and body. It is said that self-confidence builds attractiveness, and that's true. However, the definition of self-confidence is also not so obvious. It's not enough to walk upright with your chest pushed forward, speak loudly and smile nicely. In fact, it doesn't really matter. You might as well have a bad posture, keep your voice down and be an extremely charismatic character. Just look, for instance, at religious leaders, war veterans or other moral authority figures around the world. That what contributes to self-confidence is calm and experience. Overcoming adversities in the past gives certainty that you will handle in the future with any obstacles that appear on your way to achieve your set goals. And it's not necessarily about the certainty that you will achieve that goals no matter what, but that you will still feel good even if you don't accomplish everything what you set for yourself. That's the key to magnetism charisma and persuasion skills is the baggage of experience. You have to do things that make you anxious and cause discomfort. In this way, you build your strength and self-confidence. The levels of your vital energy will increase, and over time, you will be able to influence other people's minds. A great awareness of yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, a visible distance to the surrounding reality will give you a sense of power that will be visible and felt in every gesture and word, and no one will be able to resist you. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to learn more, please visit my website, leave a comment what for you means influencing other people's minds, and see you soon.